Hey guys, welcome back. Miles Hanna here. This is Journal 12, Comm 240, and here we go. Let's get into it. First question was identify two different times when you were perceived that you were under attack and responded by using one of Gibbs' defensive categories. Briefly describe each situation of your response and identify the category you used. So, there are multiple times where I felt that I was being attacked in a sense, and I was very uncomfortable in the situation, and I did not feel welcomed. Um, the first time I was under attack, I was at a party, and it was not too long ago, and I wasn't too much familiar with my surroundings, and I did not completely know anybody there. I was a friend of another friend who was invited, and so I started to feel then my friend went off somewhere, so I was by myself essentially. So I started to feel that I wasn't welcome because of the unfamiliarity between me and the others of the party. It was someone's actual birthday, so he just didn't know who this was at his party. And due to the corona and COVID-19, you just want to keep numbers on who's all there. So I completely understood why it was unwelcoming at first. So I used one of Gibbs' tactics, which was evaluation, um, which identifies when someone makes a judgment about another or his or her behavior. So I evaluated the room and I realized that my presence wasn't as welcoming as they would like. So I decided to change the script and break the ice. That's how I dealt with it. I decided to get up, stop being on my phone, looking down, and go talk to people. I walked around and started to talk to people, introduce myself, and once I did that, the whole vibe changed. Because I wasn't a random guy in the party anymore. They had some sense of who I was and knew somewhat about me. That that it was okay for me just to mingle and be around. So that was pretty cool, and it was actually eye opening to see just simple communication will change how people think about you and how they think about different circumstances and situations. Um, Another time that I was under attack, the second one, was I was at a firm trying to conduct business, and no one said anything to me and or talked to me like I was a nobody. And I was very uncomfortable with the fact that they were looking at me funny, and being there, I got a lot of anxiety, and I just started to be very paranoid. Then I used another one of Gibbs' defensive tactics of neutrality, which identifies itself as to show concern, not to show concern for another person or the other person. So I did completely that. I remained calm and just relaxed. Didn't worry about what the next man was thinking, the next person was worrying about. Even though they were looking at me funny, my job was to go in there and conduct business and leave. I have no other responsibility to them or somebody else. I came here to do my job. I did it and got out. That's what I took from it. Um, so I did that, remained calm until it was my turn to go in the office. And it gave me a great sense of confidence because it gave me more self confidence. Is I'm here for a reason. You know why you're here. Let's go in there. Let's do this. Um, Third question was to describe might how you might have otherwise dealt with the situation to become more positive and supportive climate. And I said just a better way to create a better environment for myself, which is just getting comfortable and familiar with my surroundings so I'm not paranoid. That's a way that I would do it. Instead of sitting there at first, sitting there and just relaxing, being paranoid, just get familiar with your surroundings. So every setting that you're in, you're comfortable in. The fourth question was to analyze your behavior in general. Do you think you're a defensive person? Why not? And are there certain things that trigger your defensiveness? So sometimes I am a very defensive person, and sometimes I think take things more personal than they are. And the other half, I'm just completely laid back and not a care in the world about what nobody thinks. Um, so it's kind of a 50-50 of, yes, I am defensive, but I can also be laid back and not worried about it, essentially. And I feel that that way because of certain words and certain way of how people say things and present themselves to me and present topics to me. Um, and those things tend to trigger me sometimes. And like little trigger words you wouldn't even think about, something in your brain that just snaps when you hear it. You're like, what? Why? And I tend to respond to them as if they're coming at me or accusing me of doing something. So that's some little things. There's also it's not nothing really in particular that triggers me. It just really goes by the sound and how they say things. But one thing that does make me upset is when people say that I can't do something. Not in the sense of like a kid and you tell them that, oh, you can't eat this candy right now. It's not good for you. You'll get cavities. Like, you just can't eat that right now. It's in the sense of I'm incapable of doing something. Like, you're not good enough. You can't play that position. I'm a football player. You can't play corner. Your feet not good enough. You can't play that. That's what kind of gets me upset and I feel defensive. And I'm like, well, you're really doubting me and trying me and really trying my manhood. So that's one thing that it triggers me. Um, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys.